Hey guys, Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides. Today, we're going to kick things off with a champion that you can get one of two ways. You can just simply pull mystery shards because this is an uncommon champion. That's right, it's Shieldguard. Or if you want him a little faster, depending on how many mystery shards you have, you can actually campaign farm this champion in Stage 9, the Dreadlands. You can see he is a drop, a rare drop of an uncommon champion in the Dreadlands. So what does he do? On his A1, he attacks one enemy, has a decreased speed for 2 turns. He is a defense-based champion, so his damage is based off defense. Smart to have a setup for this champion of increased defense that will also increase his damage and his survivability. On his A2 ability, he attacks all enemies. This is on a 2-turn cooldown. So a 2-turn cooldown, when booked, fills this champion's return meter by 20% on each critical hit. So essentially, depending on how many enemies are alive, as long as you have 100% crit rate on this champion, you can get a full turn meter, go back into an A1, then go right back into the A2, that AoE attack, because again, it's on a 2-turn cooldown. A very special champion. He also has a Mighty Soul passive, removes 1 debuff from this champion at the start of each turn. A nice handy passive to have as well. So I love this dude because what you can do with him is just farm Minnow's Labyrinth with just one champion. So I'm going to go ahead and switch to Shieldguard, and you'll see what I'm talking about. It's really, really easy. You put him in Lifesteal Gear, which I'm going to show you the build to use. Lifesteal Gear is healing based on the damage that they deal, so we want him built out to be kind of a nuker as well, which is easy with this champion because, well, he's doing damage based on defense. So again, easier to keep this dude alive. So he comes in there with the A2 ability, goes in with the A1. Now he already has his A2 ability off cooldown again, and he's counterattacking here. That's because we have the Retribution Mastery, as you guys will be able to see. But the beautiful thing about this is, sure, he can solo, but it's nice because he can solo Stage 15 of Minotaur's Labyrinth, and then you can just put whatever champion you want the scrolls to go to along the side with him, right? And then you're golden. That's it. You know that all the scrolls are going to go to that one champion because he's able to carry the entire dungeon by himself. Now, really quickly, I want to show you the multipliers here on this champion. He has a 4 multiplier on his A1 and a 3.4 defense-based multiplier on his A2. That is actually pretty hard, especially, again, for an uncommon champion. And again, it's easy to keep this dude alive. So you can see we're going to finish off the Minotaur, and then after that, I'm going to show you the build for this champion along with his masteries. I'll be right back. All right, guys, finishing him off rather easily. He can also do some amazing work in Ice Golem's Peak as well. Again, easy to keep him alive for that final fight against the Ice Golem. So let's go ahead and go into our champion area, and let's go ahead and rank by recently used first here, and there he is, Mr. Shieldguard. So as I mentioned, guys, we do have Lifesteal Gear on him. That's going to be imperative. After that, you can just use a broken set, or you can use, really whatever you want. A little bit, a defensive set would work well as well. Maybe a crit rate if you need it, crit damage if you want to stack up extra damage for him. But Lifesteal is necessary, again, to get that healing so we can solo areas like that. Heals by 30% of the damage dealt with a Lifesteal set on. Bloodthirst also gets the job done as well. I'm looking for crit rate and crit damage as my substats here, and defense. Obviously, his damage scales on defense, and it's easier to keep him alive there. So crit damage on the gauntlets if you can get it. If not, it's fine to go crit rate on the gauntlets, and then just try to get crit damage on substats elsewhere. The most important thing is to have his crit rate at 100%. After that, we're going to go with defense percentage on the chest, and we're going to be going with speed on the boots. So his total stats are going to, actually, let me look at the accessories really quickly. We have defense on the banner, we have crit damage on the amulet, and we have defense with looking for defense percentage rolls as substats on the ring. And then his total stats here you can see are 35k on the HP, 3800 on the defense, 183 on the speed, 106 and 221, and that's about it. Accuracy is nice to land that decreased speed off of the A1, but it's definitely not necessary with this particular champion unless you're really looking to land that decreased speed, which again is helpful, but not mandatory. I'm not focusing on accuracy on this champion personally. Let me go ahead and move over here. This is my favorite mastery build for this champion, Shieldguard. I went down and I picked up Helm Smasher. Helm Smasher is generally preferred as a tier 6 mastery against other champions, not bosses necessarily. So because we're going to be clearing a bunch of waves with this champion, I went with Helm Smasher. If you really want to use Shieldguard specifically against bosses, nothing wrong with going with War Master instead of Helm Smasher. But again, he'll do better on waves with the Helm Smasher ability. Most importantly here, guys, we also have, if we wanted to put food champions alongside of him, let's say we wanted to farm up a bunch of champions masteries that didn't have artifacts on, Wrath of Slain is going to give us extra speed for each dead ally, so noteworthy there. And along with Lifesteal, Life Drinker is going to be a great mastery to get on him as well. Heals by 5% of the damage inflicted when attacking with 50% HP or less. Going to be very helpful. Obviously, we're going to come down here, pick up the crit rate and the crit damage as well. As I mentioned, we went defense tree as well. I'd highly encourage you guys to come down and pick up Retribution, get more counterattacks as we saw in that previous battle off of the A1 when he is attacked, or excuse me, when he loses 25% of his max HP from one enemy skill. So this is my favorite build for Shieldguard, and Shieldguard, again, personally, is I think my favorite uncommon champion in the game, but we'll talk about a couple other uncommons to kick off this brand new channel. I invite you to subscribe, and thank you so much for watching till the end of the first video on Raid Shadow Legends Champion Guides. Take care, guys.